I don't.
All right.
Are you still in production?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm always in production, man. What are you talking about?
I don't see you on open houses and showing a buyer tour.
Oh no, that's not the part of production that I'm involved in.
I don't see you in the field.
Yeah. I'm in the background.
You're cutting off. You're cut off, John.
Oh,
Sorry.
right. Hey guys, end on time. Of course, if we want to end on time, we start on time. All right.
You're cut off.
Thank you everyone for coming to the call. It is 11:30. Let's get started. So today, you know, JP's been on many stages and he's going to be on stage as well. Build Vancouver, October 3rd. If you haven't gotten your tickets, I'm going to post a link right here before the end of the call. He's going to be our panelist and the topic will be on how to get your listings sold. Super excited about that. But today we want to find out who JP is. And actually JP is a big lover of being a buyer's agent. He I don't know how many hundreds of deals he's already done in his short career here, but this year, JP, just before we start, how many transactions have you already done in about 8 months here?
8 months. We're running around 55 deals so far.
Oh, that's it?
That's about
you
it.
slacking, bro.
I'm behind right now on deals close, but
Wow,
I'm working
amazing.
harder as I want to. So yeah, I'll get
Yeah.
there. I'll get to 100 again, I hope.
You will. So 55, out of the 55, how many are buyers? How many are sellers?
I would say around buyers would be around 60%.
60%.
Yeah, 60%
Okay.
buyers, 40% sellers.
Okay, so let's talk about that today, right? Because I think a lot of us work with buyers and have a lot of struggles. You know, how come some people are waiting? How come some people have these objections? You know, how do we work through that? But you know, let's rewind a bit. So, guys, JP is number 2 in volume and in units of XP Realty Canada. So, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. And before you got started in that JP,
John, a little bit choppy.
You're choppy, John. Is it me? Is it my computer or?
Close him.
No, he's frozen.
Yeah, it's definitely John.
Uh-oh.
Daniel, take it over.
Yeah, let's talk about it, JP. No, I would take over, but I think I would be doing a disservice to John.
Yes. Uh-oh, we got. Oh no. Yeah, he's frozen. Yes.
JP,
Yeah.
I do appreciate your wall art in the back though. Because
Yeah, thank you. So same thing. Yeah, that's right. So I got my we got our affirmations here. I got this from John. The first time when I met John, and the daily affirmation helped me a lot. I want to talk about mindset. Always very important, as we all know how important mindset is, and just kind of like being mindful on a regular and daily basis on how grateful we are and always thinking positive before you start your day. So that's something that I want to share with everyone, is that what you think directs to what action you need to do in order for you to achieve that result that you want. So if there's a result that you want to achieve, regardless of wherever that is, we all have our goal in our life. All of us have a goal, regardless of what goal that is. We have goals. We have goals in finance. We have goals in fitness. We have goals in our family, and we have goals in faith. they're all goals, right? All those F or 4F that I call are goals in order for us to what we want to achieve. And in terms of in real estate related, that's finance. What we want is not the money. What we want is freedom. So if we have a goal in finance, which means helping a lot of families, how many families is your goal for this year, or what's your goal in order for you to achieve that result or helping families? So the action, it all comes down to what action you can take and what action that you need to do to achieve that result that you want. So that's why I have this equation to my mind of what I can do for me to achieve that result that I want. Because for me, finance related is ensuring that I help a lot of families. And I always tell myself that I want to help 100 families this year. What can I do and what I can contribute to provide a good service to help 100 families every single time. So I broke them down always. I broke them down into monthly, I broke it down into weekly, and then it gives me an activity of what I need to do every single day for me to ensure that I help 100 families every year. So um, for real estate, because this is the thing that I want to discuss specifically, aside from any other goals that we want to achieve, for real estate, you've got to identify what are the regular activities to generate that result and prospecting at the end of the day, right? And those prospecting includes door knocking, social media, center of influence, social events. They're all exposure, right? You've got to identify your closing ratio. What activity on those prospecting to people will generate you the highest result or closing ratio, and focus on that. I don't door knock anymore. I used to, but it wasn't for me. Um, but for me, what was very effective is pretty much social media and center of influence and attending events and just pretty much exposing myself out there. I had to find my niche, specifically in the Filipino community, because I feel like that's where I have a connection with, and that's where I find that I have a higher closing ratio talking to family that I can relate to in terms of where they're from, and pretty much just connecting with them first prior to me discussing any real estate related. So that's what's important. You've got to identify which of these activities that will provide you a higher closing ratio, and then focus on that, and kind of like just monitor your activity on a regular basis where you're closing and helping a lot of families, and then focus on that and then do that consistently. Is John back? John, are you back?
John is back. Yep. Well,
Yes,
JP,
sir.
I love everything that you're sharing, man. And before I pass the mic back to John, and John, you owe me like 3 minutes of consulting fee there.
Didn't say anything.
I did. I took over. No. Really cool question for you, JP. I love the affirmation, right? But I think for me is this. I think a lot of people are always curious before we dive into the technicalities of your lead sources, right? And how you build those relationships. Have you always had the mental tenacity? Or was it something that was in an epiphany moment? Was it a conversation? Like, how did you build your morning routine to now where you really have that abundance mindset and you're able to turn that into action?
That's a very good question, Jack. Thank you for asking. So at first, no, I mean, I was all over the place in the past. When I became a real estate agent, pretty much as everybody is, we don't know what the hell we're doing, right? Where to start, what to think, what to do. I'm very fortunate to have met John and pretty much listening to regular production meeting and role play, and to kind of like see what other agents are doing for them to produce a lot of transactions on a regular, on a yearly basis. How were they able to do that? And what action were they taking for them to achieve those goals? So as you um, listen to all of these meetings and production, you've got to feel that within. So there's three things that I want to share. if you want to have a great mindset,
Oh.
you've gotta feed in your mind all these positive things, and those involves gratitude, just being thankful, and just keep saying those affirmation. That's why affirmation is critically important. If you think of negative, then the negative things could and may happen. But if you keep on thinking positive things at all times, that's what you absorb. And you know, basically it'll just sink into your mind and yourself of just always thinking positive on a regular basis. In addition to that, once you have that thought and that consistency in your mind on how grateful you are, and you've got to identify your goals now. What is your goal? Just like I mentioned earlier, it may be finance, it may be family or friends, it may be fitness, or it may be faith, right? Those are all goals. We all have our goals in life. So in order for you to achieve whatever that goal that is, then all you need to do is just take that action. But others and a lot of us doesn't know what action to take. And that's where you build a system. What system are you going to do, or activity that you're going to do to achieve that sort of goal that you want in terms of real estate, right? And it may be effective, it may not be effective, but all you've got to do is just find ways, but find that particular thing that will give you that result that you want, and then just focus on that activity. So for me, just like I mentioned earlier, it's pretty much just exposing myself out there and ensuring that I help a family and then you provide a good service.
Fair enough. Thank you so much, JP.
Thank
John,
you, Jack.
talk to us.
Yes, sir. I'm back. Yes. So, this morning I heard I talked to the president of Korea, and he's at my gym, right? And he said in Greater Vancouver, where we are, there's about now 9,700 people out of 14,500 that has done a deal. So that's still just a little bit more than half of the people. And out of those people, how many done only one deal? Just a couple months ago, it was 11,000 that hasn't done a deal. Right. So, how are you able to navigate in such a tough market and get people to buy? Because, a lot of our agents are asking, well, how do we get people to buy? How do we convince them to buy? Like, how are you doing 55 deals where, most people can't even get one?
Mm-hmm.
How are
Yeah.
you working with these buyers?
It's so you've gotta that's why these role plays are important, because this is mastering skills, John. Like the production and this regular meetings is critically important, because that's what you sharpen your mind and skills, right? I've heard in one of the production meeting in the past regarding MMA, master, market, automate. Master your skills, market your skills, and then automate, and then repeat. Master, market, automate. So for helping families, you will not be able to help as many families if you don't know what you're saying and you don't ask proper questions. Helping sellers, helping buyers, it's all about ensuring that you ask the right questions. So for families that are looking to buy, rather than directing them directly to a mortgage specialist or a mortgage broker, what questions are you asking them to pre-qualify them from the beginning? Their income, their savings, their credit score, their debts, so that you're asking the right questions in order for them to see, okay, are they qualify for what amount? Are they able to afford a home, or are they not able to afford a home at this time? If they are, then great. Then that's when you connect them to your partner or a mortgage specialist to work on their pre-approval. But if they're not approved, then what advice can you give them for them to save and be ready for the next time to come when they're ready to buy, right? So those are asking great questions, as well as asking a potential seller prior to you coming to an appointment. So what questions are you asking to a seller and how motivated and ready they are before you even spend your time and do your listing presentation. So it's asking those questions, ensuring that you're providing value, so that when they're ready and you identify their motivation, then that's when you move forward. One thing, John, one thing that I've learned to one of my mentor is we all want that change, right? We want that change of lifestyle. You want that change of fitness, and we want that change of a family. We want that change for them to buy a home, or we want that change for that seller to to um, to help them move to achieve their goal and achieve their dream. So that change is one thing that I want to share with everyone, is that change is equals to motivation times the pressure plus first step, which should be which should be more than the fear. Okay, let me repeat that. I just want to write it down here because I want to be able to share it to everyone here that is watching. So, can everyone see this?
Yep, we can see it.
Yes. So change is equal to pressure times the motivation plus the first step, which is more than the fear. If there is no motivation on the seller, then the change will not happen, or the buyer, or yourself. If there's not enough pressure to ourselves, if there's not enough pressure to a family that you want to help, whether they need to buy or they need to sell, the change will not happen. It's for us to identify what the pressure is and the motivation, having that first step, which is more than the fear. But if they feel that fear and they think that fear is high because they didn't want to take that first step, then the change will not happen, right? And it all comes down to all of our goals in terms of what we want to do, right? We wanna work on something, or even our fitness or working out. If you want to have a good muscle, or build muscle, then same thing. You've got to have that pressure in there and that motivation on that goal that you want. But if the fear is very high, then the change will not happen.
So if the pressure and the motivation is higher than the fear, then change will happen. So tell me what FS7F is.
Oh no,
Sorry.
not FS7. It's the first step. First step is more than the fear.
Oh, first step is more than the fear. Got it.
Yes. Because if the fear is more than that first step, then you will not take that first step, which is that action. Right?
Got it.
Any goal that we want for it comes with that thought. Okay, that thought that we think about, that's where our goals comes in, right? But if you don't take that action, then there is no result, because you just keep thinking about it. A lot of us maybe just get inspired after this interview, and I hope that I get you inspired. Okay, JP did a great speech after this, but if you're not disciplined enough and you don't take that action, then the result will not happen. Okay? Exactly. So, and one thing that I just learned recently as well, that it's good to have that result. That result may be a percentage of what your goal is. It may be you may not have a result because you were not taking enough action, or you may be taking action differently. But in order for you to have that consistent result, one thing that I added to myself and I realized is the importance of care. Okay, the thought and action involves with care, you will win every time. And that care
for clients or care for yourself to take the action?
It's the care for the things that you do.
Okay.
It's being passionate. It's the positive energy. How much do you care? You can take that action to go to the gym because you thought of it, but you don't have that passion to go there consistently and loving what you do. Then the result may be all over the place, right? You can talk to a client or a seller without care, and that's okay. But the question is, what the result will you achieve? What the result will with what result are you going to get, right? Anything that you do that involves with care, everyone will know and everyone will feel it. So when you
Yeah.
help a family, they will know how much you care in providing a good service to them, because that's how our business is. It grows because of how much they know, and how much we provide a good service to those families that needed our help, right? So very important, thoughts, actions, with care will generate you that result that you want to achieve.
Okay. So just to reiterate, change can only equal to pressure times motivation. And if the first step, and only if the first step is greater than the fear it takes to actually make the change.
Correct.
And
If the pressure is high and the motivation is high, without that first step, there's no change.
right.
They've
And
gotta do that.
then
They've gotta do
and
that
then
first step,
you got to do the first step.
which is
So
more than
guys,
the
when the
fear.
motivation level is high for the buyer or the seller, they're going to make that change if there's some sort of pressure as well.
Yes.
And what kind of pressures may there be? This is what I learned the other day. There's a 7 Ds of life what we need to pay attention to. And I want to share this on this call. Is number one is diapers. Number one is diapers. Number two is diamonds. Number three is deployment. Number four, divorce. Number five is disease. Number six, oh, there was one more. Axel, are you there?
Is death.
Yeah. There's death. Death is obviously number seven. So that's the last one.
Divorce. Divorce.
Divorce.
Disease.
That's right. There's diamonds and there's divorce.
And the eighth
Didn't I
one
say
is
that already?
debt.
And the eighth one is debt. So if you have enough pressure from those 8 Ds or 7 Ds, and there's high level, yeah, we said divorce twice. So I'm gonna, yeah, there's actually, if you can find it, that makes sense as well, because a lot of times it's like I can't afford the payments. There's pressure plus high levels of motivation. You're gonna take that first step because that's greater than the fear that you have to take the action, right?
Can I go
And
over
then we
this
want
so to confirm with you? So it's diapers, diploma. That's
diploma. That's it.
yes. So the education, and then diamond, deployment, disease, and divorce pretty much fall into the same category. Debt, disability, and death.
Yeah. So those are the 7 Ds, guys. 7 Ds. So number one is diapers. Number two is diamonds, right? Number three is diploma. Number four is deployment. Number five is divorce. Number six is disease. Number seven is death. And if you want to add number eight, which makes sense out of all this, is enough debt for you to take action. If I can't afford the payments, right? So, back to that, thoughts plus action equals results. But when you add care, you're going to take the action. Is that
Well,
right?
when you have that care, it's when you increase your result on a positive direction, right? Because you may not care. When you talk and when you help families, it may be just you're forced to do so, because of any other reason. Then pretty much, if you don't care and you don't have that passion in you, then the result may not be there, right?
Mm.
It may be one or two or less, but if you care and you provide your best on helping families, then obviously then the result will be high, because that's where you're gonna see a positive result, right?
Yeah. So guys, really, working with buyers isn't so much we've talked more about motivation, time frame and pressure and life changes more than the qualifying questions to ask a buyer. Because if you can get to their motivation, if you can get to some sort of pressure that they have, and it's greater than the fear that they have to take the action, they're gonna buy.
Yeah.
Right. So this is what we're talking about today. It's not so much about, what to say to the buyers to convince them. Now, Mike had a question. I'm not quite sure I understand the question, Mike. Are you asking in regards to the buyer's increased motivation? You want to increase their motivation to buy, or are you increasing your own motivation to take action to succeed? Mike, you want to speak up?
It goes either way. My original thought, it was like, how do you increase motivation in those around you? Like, how do you encourage? And I bet it's probably obvious by just living with passion and letting that passion be a motivator for other people and the energy be effective.
Mm-hmm. It's not mainly for me. I don't think that I'm in a position to encourage them uh, to to take that action. It's for me. It's my job though to identify what their motivation is. When they say that it's a quantity game, that's true. When they say it's quality over quantity, that's also true. When they say that you've got to ask the right question, it's true. All of those activities are true. And what I'm doing is ensuring that I ask the right questions, whether they're motivated or not. Because if they're not motivated, then I move on and call the next person, right? If they're not that motivated, I can't do anything but only to provide them guidance and advice and their plan in the future. So for example, if you're not motivated to buy at this point, then I'll connect with you in the next month or two, and I'll follow up with you when you think you're ready. And if you're not yet ready, do you know of anyone that is ready at this time that I can help? And then I move on to the next. And when I see someone that is motivated and I qualify them to ensure that they're ready to buy or sell, that's where I focus my entire energy to kind of like move on and move forward. So that's why the numbers are important, because there's so many that you're gonna get a bunch of no's, and that's okay. It's part of that activity. You're gonna find one that will say yes, and when you find one that will say yes, focus your energy on that family, and then just continue doing that on a regular basis, right? So the motivation and the pressure is something that I always have to identify to a family, and then lead them to that first step so that they can take that action. So and
I want to reiterate that a little bit, JP, before you go any further. The key distinction there, Mike, is you cannot encourage or convince people to be motivated. You are there to, what JP said, identify the motivated people and put your whole energy into that buyer seller. Okay, you're not convincing them to do it. He's guiding them and advising them and following up with them until they're ready. He's not saying, hey, you know what? You should buy now because X. He's saying, whenever you're ready, I'm here. If you have any questions in between, let me know. And he's gonna go, who else do you know that might be thinking about buying, selling, investing that I can help? Because you're fucking not motivated. I want to talk to somebody else. Does that make sense? All right. Sorry for the part of my French. Yeah. So
Yeah.
keep going, Dave.
yeah, so they don't do what you tell them to do, but they do what they self-discover. I learned that
Hey,
from you guys.
there
So
you go.
if and that's normal to anything that you talk to. There are families that are not yet ready or to sell or to buy, but our job is to follow up, right?
Your job is to follow up.
Our job is to follow up.
Okay.
Our job is to prospect. Our job is to door knock. Our job is to network. It's all exposure. If you're not exposing yourself out there, regardless of how much you role play, regardless of how much you master your skills. But if you're not marketing yourself out there, then you will not achieve that result. You're not be able to close a family or help a family because you weren't marketing yourself. That's why it's important that you have that's also the social media that we always do, the prospecting, the calling. Those are us marketing and selling ourselves out there, that we're here to help you. I'm here to help you. Let me help you. So
There you
that
go.
the skills, the role play is critically important because it's mastering, and the mastering of skills is us being confident that we're capable of helping you. And once you have that
That's
confidence
right.
and you build up that confidence in yourself, then you market yourself out there that you're confident to help these families, right? So master, market, automate, and once you have that, then you automate yourself, because as you increase your system and building and helping a lot of families out there, then you would want to automate because you want other agents and delegate yourself to ensure that you help as many families as possible. So that's what I learned that from you guys, John, when we had that role play. That okay, I didn't realize that that's what we need to do in order for us to ensure that we help as many families as we can.
Guys, we have 8 role play and production calls each week. And, out of 1,300, 1,400 people in our organization, only about 30 show up on every call. And one of them is JP. JP's already done 55 deals this year so far, and he shows up on those calls. So you guys need to plug in just a little bit more. All right, Jack, go ahead.
How you doing, JP? Had a question for you. When we're talking about how to identify, some of these motivations and pressures, like the 8 Ds that we talked about, I guess, how are you going to try to find clients that are going through some of those, 8 Ds? I know social media can be huge, talking about diapers or diamonds or diplomas just by post, but some of the other ones, how else are you identifying those?
So let's say specifically, if you're looking to speak to a potential client that is looking to buy, then why do, first of all, you've got to identify, okay, where do they live, how much rent they're paying. It could be very low, or it could be very high. And if it's very low, then it's good for them that they're paying low rent for them to save, and then work your conversation in a way where if you're planning to buy, when would you want to buy? And then when they say not until next year, what's the point of buying next year if you're able to buy today? So, and then you've got to ask those questions in a way where to know, identify if they're ready to buy next year, then so be it, then let it be next year. But if they're buying now, then the next questions would be their financial status, right? What questions are you asking to qualify a client in order for them to buy? Are they looking to buy a big home that is worth more than that they can afford? And if not, you have to tell them what they can afford. You're only because of your income, you're only able to afford this much, or this high. And if they're ready, and then that's where you lead them to take that action to move forward.
Gotcha.
Right. So those are the pressure. Those are the motivation that you need to ask, and the pressure involves of them wanting to buy because they've been renting for so long, and they have no investment, or they're paying too much high on rent, or they're getting kicked out because their landlord is selling their property, or they're growing up and their unit is too small now. They need a bigger room. So those are the pressure. Right? On the selling side, why do they want to sell? Are they paying higher mortgage? Are they moving out of the country? Are they upgrading? Are they downsizing? Do they need the funds? So those are the pressure. Because if there's no pressure in there, then they may wait because they're not in a rush. They will always say they're not in a rush, and that's normal. But you gotta identify when they will plan, when they would want to take that action, because it's us to identify when they will take that first step. We all have that fear. We all feel it. It's in us. But as long as our first step and that action is much higher than that fear, we're gonna create that change, regardless of what that is, right? In terms of relationship, or in fitness, you wanna have you wanna build big mass. you got to take that first step. You've got to have that pressure and the motivation to take that action, right? It all comes down to the same thing. So it's for us to just know it in ourselves and ensuring that we are mastering our skills in terms of our specific profession in real estate to ensure that we are confident. All of these things that we're doing in terms of mastering skills is increasing our confidence out there to expose to people that needs our help, and that's where the marketing goes. Regardless of how much mastering your skills that you do, right? Even though you're a on any business, even if it's a restaurant or even if it's iPhone will not be known without marketing, right? Or any other famous businesses out there. You've gotta market yourself. That's why all of these things that we do, that is effective. And after that, once you market yourself, you've gotta identify which is effective. Is ads effective? Is bus benches effective? I think about that all the time. Is that effective for me? So what's effective for me that I want to share to everyone is just pretty much finding my niche. What's your niche? Is it your friends and families? Is it in your church? Is it in your I don't know, like in your bar or whatever, and focus on that and dig deeper. And
JP,
the result will come.
how many people do you talk to on a daily basis to find these motivated people?
So it's my 4 years now in the real estate world. At first, pretty much honestly speaking now, John, I don't track my contacts. It's kind of like a hobby now. It's when I'm bored, and I'm always bored, I just talk to people. So
Wow,
I don't.
you're sick. You're sick.
It's not like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do this many contacts. It became a habit. So
You're just talking to people all the time because
I just talk to people all the
declared that
time.
your beingness is a real estate agent. And if I'm a real estate agent, if I'm a salesperson, what do I do every single day all the time is talk to more people.
Yeah, it's
Right.
yeah, that's it. So one thing when I wanted to ask you for lunch, John, if you recall, I wanted to take you out for lunch because I want to see what your system is like. And when we sat down during that lunch, and you just said, are you talking to people? How many people are you talking to every day? I just talk to people a lot. And it's not rocket science, right? It's just, again, talk. Okay, so that's what John did. He just talks to a lot of people, and that's what I did. I did it in my own personal way to just reach to every single person I know that I'm a real estate agent. When I was when I was just studying, taking my real estate license, I'm already making like live videos and doing a journal and posting it on social media that I'm studying real estate. So I'm sharing to everyone that, okay, this is the book that I'm studying. It's very hard. It's I don't think I'm gonna pass. It's just a lot of law. It's a lot of math. But hopefully I pass when I take this exam. But just so you know, everyone, I'm taking my real estate course because I want to become a real estate agent.
You're already marketing yourself before you
I'm already
became a
marketing
real estate
myself,
agent.
right?
Yeah.
And when I got my license, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So I asked John, can you help me? I want to go open houses. I want to attend inspection. I want to go to a buyer tour because I want to gain my confidence and I want to learn so that I can share it to, personally, I kind of want to be able to do it myself. And that's what I did. I gained confidence. I master my skills. And it's just that, master market automate, master market automate,
Automate.
master market
There you go.
automate.
There you go. We got a question over here. Frank, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much, JP, for your sharing. And I think that what you've been telling us, especially for me, it's very, very helpful. I do see a huge difference. I have been in the real estate for more than 10 years, and I see a huge difference in value systems, how to become a better realtor to be in this business. A huge difference is what I see. I used to come from a very big brokerage, so-called a very big brand. And when I was get trained is how you manage people, how you take advantage of your clients when they have fears. But today at the EXP, especially with John's team, I do see is that the value system is different. It's how to make yourself a better product, how you make yourself a better person to be available to serve. And I believe this value system will help the JP to achieve he made 55 deals this year so far, right? And because in the previous value system, all your clients you try to manage become your enemies. You try to manage them, they try to manage you. So become a tug of war, and we never really work together. You try to see their weak points, try to close the sale. But they want to see you give me more value and I want to pay less. So we will never be in sync for the same goal. But today, I do see that, with the confidence we have through improve us as a product, and the customer, they do have a need, and then we work together. We help each other to achieve our common goals. So the value changes is a tremendous thing that, as the JP mentioned, the care. Okay, so when you care, you are genuine. You try to help people, and the customers see that. They don't see you try to manipulate when they have a needs. And I think that with John's, his value system he created in how he trained us will benefit us in long term. Yeah, that's my
you.
sharing.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Frank. So, basically, his previous brokerage is like you find the weakness in that client and you try to close on that. Is pretty manipulative. Now we're here. What JP has taught us today is you simply have to care. You simply have to care for people and identify which ones are the motivated ones. And if their motivation and pressure is greater than the fear that they have in taking action, they're going to take that first step. So, I think we learned a lot today. We got a couple minutes left. Who else has a question for JP? Please go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey, JP. So just curious, with the 55 deals that you did this year, how many came from open house or referrals, or what's the percentage of these clients that you have?
Nothing from open house. Actually, there are a little bit. I don't do the open house. I have other agents assisting me that are doing the open house. They all the leads that they get from it is their own. I'm just happy that they help me on open houses. The over 55 deals that I help this year are mainly center of influence, referrals from the past clients that I assisted. I would say about 50% of those are from center of influence, and then the remaining 50% is social media from Facebook, pretty much mainly Facebook. Ensuring that I religiously post once a day or maybe more. I find it psychological that if you're in their mind and they see you all the time, they're either going to refer you to people that they know, or they're the one that is ready. They may inquire about the property that you show, or the post that you posted regarding of whether it's property that you're selling or you're giving values and stuff like that. So that's kind of like
what I noticed. You know what I noticed about JP's posts? It's not a static image of the house and then JP's picture like this. It's actually JP going, "Hey, sold," with his clients, and their clients are like, hey?
Yeah.
So I think it's a little bit different level of engagement. And guys, Facebook is not dead. Facebook's making a comeback. And I would say all of your social media leads come from Facebook, not Instagram, right?
Most of them. Well, I pretty much a lot of them on my Facebook. You're right, John. So in addition to after helping these families, I come and take a picture with them because I want to make sure that are they happy, and it's part of my marketing. When you tag these families that you help, those are leads. You're exposing on those are free leads. You see this family that is happy and excited that bought a property, and you tag them, and now it's on their Facebook page, that, oh, who's this guy that helped this family, bought a home. So, and I do that always because when I take a picture with the family that I help, now it's on their center of friends.
You tag them
Yeah,
and
of
it
course.
appears that you appear on their page.
Even
All
though
of a
they're not
sudden
on
you
my
get
Facebook
all their
friends,
center of
and
influence.
it's on their friends, and who's JP, who's this guy, and so on. So that's kind of like one way to attract leads, and they may inquire, they may not inquire, but it's those consistent action that you do. It's very powerful, right? So
So how are you converting social media into like leads into your clients? Like, are they DMing you kind of thing, or like how are you converting them to becoming your
yeah,
own
it's
clients? Yeah, and
What kind of content? I
content?
just told you. It's like static images. Like, hey, we just closed. No, he does videos too. He does funny videos also, like what we do. But I think the most engagement is from closing. We just sold a house. We just bought a house, and then he has his clients with him in the picture, and they're like super happy.
Yeah. So yeah, let me ask John. Until now, it puzzled me because that's what keeps me do to a lot of it's my goal to do 100 deals, but it puzzled me in how you did your 149 deals. What were your system like? I wanted to ask you that. Like how does your system work, and where did you get those 50 contacts or 100 contacts per day? Don't you not run out?
So never run out, because if you want to write this down for everyone who want to do this, I don't recommend that you do this because I had no life. My wife hated me. I never saw my parents. I had no friends. I only drank with my friends because I want a deal. So every single day, 5 expires, 5 for sale by owners, 20 COI and past clients, and then 20 just listed, just sold. I did that for the whole year, 10,878 contacts. And I did 149 deals that year. I don't recommend anybody do that because it wasn't fun. I just did whatever it took, right? And I never ran out because you need to talk to your A clients 12 times a year, every month. You need to talk to your Bs and Cs 4 times a year. And I had a database of 2,000 people. I never run out, right? So anyway, that's to answer your question.
Yeah, thank you.
One last question for JP before we go. I know we're over time, but yes, go ahead.
So when you said you were pre-qualifying, you said that you asked your clients about their income and savings. I feel so kind of weird asking that. Do you ask that right away in the beginning, or I usually leave it to the mortgage broker and kind of talk to them?
Yeah, it's the same thing with the brokers. You've got to know what like those brokerage questions. Because I've been doing this for so long now, I am confident on asking them the right questions, right? So it's just kind of like getting used to it. For me, like it all depends on the family I speak with. If especially if they're referred by a previous client, then you have that warm connection already because they already have that trust because they're referred to you. So if it's kind of like a lead that you got from a website or something, then start asking their motivation first. Why do they want to buy? Where do they want to buy? And how soon do they want to buy first? So start with soft questions before you get into a deeper ones. And if they're ready and say that, okay, are you looking to buy in Vancouver, for example, for a 1-bedroom home in Vancouver downtown? And I would tell them that if you're not comfortable of asking those financial questions, then you will tell them that what you will tell them the requirement. Start with telling them the requirement first. We for property that you're looking to buy, let's say 160,000, at least we would need 125 to 140,000 of income. Is that something? Is that in the range in terms of how much the household income is? So you start with those questions and let them know that the minimum down payment is 5% on the first 500 and then 10% on the balance. Therefore, if you're looking to buy a family that is a property that is worth 600,000, you would need 35,000 of down payment. Is that something that you have at this time, right? So either you ask them what their savings is, tell them the requirement, and then either they say yes or no. So those are other ways for you to kind of find out
So,
in terms of how much they would be able to qualify and afford.
so asking, so if it's a center of influence, past client referral, then it's easier to ask those harder questions because you have a warm connection. If it's an online lead, you want to go in with the motivation questions first. Once you find out they're motivated, don't ask them how much you make or how much money do you have, but ask them the requirement is this 5%. Is that workable for you? Then you automatically find out how much they have or how much they make, right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, guys. Hey, round of applause for JP. We just talked about buyers and we will talk about sellers, how to get listings sold in today's tough market. October 3rd, I can't wait. JP, thank you. We'll see y'all soon.
Thank you,
Love you,
guys.
Kuya.